Summer is here and school is almost out for students, but that doesn't necessarily mean putting those books away for 3 whole months. There's your warning. Some experts say summer is the perfect time to take advantage of the extra free time to get ahead before school starts again. Joining me now to talk everything that you need to know. Students can do a lot during the summer to get ready. Incoming seniors must do a lot before fall as well. Dr. Bari Norman, education consultant and head counselor at Expert Admissions, is here to give us everything that we need to know. Dr. Norman, thank you so much for being here. For students who are gearing up to apply, what would you say is probably the most important thing to do during summer? Do you have time to slack off and relax just a little bit?
Well, I wouldn't say slack off, but I would say actually relax. It's important, in fact. Students coming off of junior year know that it's a rough year. Take some time, decompress, do something substantive because colleges are looking for that, and then get started on those college essays.
So how should they select a summer job or maybe even a program?
It depends on what you're interested in. Colleges want all different kinds of students, so there's not one kind of thing that you need to do. I think it's important to think about what are my interests, what have I done, what can I show that how I've matured, and then pick a program or a job, even better, based on that.
So for incoming seniors, what's the most important things that they should focus on?
You really want to start thinking about the essays, because if you can get it done before school starts, that will put you ahead of the game and will reduce the stress significantly. So if you can start thinking about what you're interested in, what do you want to reveal about yourself in that essay, it's sort of like chapter 1 of your book, and the supplemental essays will be the subsequent chapters. So start thinking about your different experiences and what you can possibly share.
That's great advice. I've never heard it described that way. I wish someone would have told me that before I wrote my essay going in. But what about for the juniors that maybe aren't thinking about college quite yet? Are there some things that they should be doing now just to kind of set themselves up for success?
Sure. Students who are entering junior year should be thinking about their list. So starting to think about colleges, what kind of school do you want? Does it matter where it's located, how big it is? Certainly think about the intensity of the academic scene and the social scene. People forget about the social scene and will focus intently on rankings or where can I get in. You're going to be able to get into a pretty wide range of schools. Your job is to narrow down where you'd be most comfortable.
Oh, that's interesting. So when you talk about some of the social settings, what are some of the things that you, in your mind, are thinking that people should be thinking about?
Well, the social scene in terms of the Greek life, so are you a fraternity or sorority kind of person? Also that balance between academics and social. There are some schools that are truly a balance. There are some that are incredibly intense, both in terms of academics and a social life. And you have to know yourself and say, what can I handle? You want to be able to have fun and work, but you don't want to get so bogged down in work that you can't have fun, or the reverse, of course.
Good advice. The recent Varsity Blues admissions scandal, we have to talk about that. It really shined a spotlight on how competitive it is and how far people will go to get their children into school. So what would you say about some of the admissions processes now? Have they changed because of that?
We haven't seen any real changes in the admissions process, and that's because Varsity Blues really had a lot to do with athletics. Admissions people were duped just like the rest of us. There was nothing seen in the admissions process per se. We had individual coaches in particular, and then some people at testing centers doing some wrong things, obviously, and lining their own pockets. What we have seen are changes to rules regarding athletic recruitment and admissions.
Do you hear anything or any concerns from parents or students because of this? Are they more hesitant or maybe leery?
I think people are concerned about what does this mean? And most importantly, of course, what does it mean for me? People want to do the right thing. They want to learn and say, what are the rules? What can I do to help me get into school or help me do it the right way? But they're nervous that this has kind of thrown everything up into the air.
You know, you hear a lot of students talk about how much pressure they feel that they're under, whether it's self-imposed or from parents or even from schooling, it's rigorous testing. What would be the best advice you could give them as they continue in their educational process?
I know it's going to sound odd, but it really is about being yourself. And when I say sound odd, it's hard to say that when we're talking about Varsity Blues, right? And people are going to say, no, but. But really, the vast majority of students, almost every single one of them, is getting in because of hard work. And that's really the best thing that you can do. Also, as I mentioned before, they want all different kinds of students. So if you try to be someone else, you end up tending to present a pretty generic version of a student. It's not compelling, and that's when people scratch their heads and say, I had the scores, I had the grades, I had the extracurriculars, how come I didn't get in?
Okay, be yourself and work hard.
Really?
Good. I like it, Dr. Norman. Thank you so much for being here. All the advice is definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.